Hey everybody, good morning. Good morning. So happy to have you. So we are actually day 6 of our summit, and we can't wait to talk all about movement. I mean, I don't know about you, but I have been cooped up in my house, and like inserting movement has been really tough for me. And so we're going to give you all the tips and tricks. Pam Josifek is here with Green Frog Yoga Online, and we are so happy to have you. Welcome, Pam.
Thank you for inviting me today. This is really exciting. I can't wait to talk about and answer any questions you have about bringing movement into your life.
Yes. So, and exactly to what Pam said, if you guys have questions, drop them in the comments. We've been asking the whole time on this virtual summit, not where are you in the world, but where are you in your home? Because we are all locked in, working or with our family, with our kids. So let us know where you are in your home. I'm in my office right now. I decided to change it up. I've been in my living room for a little bit, and so now I'm in my office. Where are you, Pam?
I'm actually in my daughter's bedroom. So
Perfect.
I have found out that she has the biggest open area. So when I do need some movement,
Um,
I come in and take over her space just a little bit.
Yeah, see, there's always a reason, right? Always a reason.
Yeah.
So, we are here talking about movement today and mindfulness. They go hand in hand for sure. So, Pam, why don't you introduce yourself? Give us a little overview of what you're up to in the world and how you got to, this spot of creating Green Frog Yoga Online.
Okay. So my name again is Pam Josifek with Green Frog Yoga Online. Just recently closed down my physical studio of Green Frog Yoga because I found that reaching people online really helps to get yoga as part of your daily life. I
Mhm.
found a lot of the people that I knew didn't have an hour and a half every day to be able to drive to a studio, take an hour long class, and leave. So, and now in the time of the pandemic, I think looking at that, finding ways to fit movement into your daily life, Green Frog Yoga Online, this is really my goal is to help you figure it out. Because even working at home, do you have that hour to tell everybody to leave you alone so that you can do yoga? There's
Ooh.
ways you can put it in your life without having to take a full hour in one slot.
Oh, so true. Like I feel like that's what holds me up even working from home or working from the nest is like I'm just zoned in and like even taking 30 minutes to just get out of my space and roll out a yoga mat, that feels overwhelming for me sometimes, and like I don't have time. So I totally understand where you're coming from, that like you have to get in your car, travel somewhere, be in a class, change because you probably get sweaty or whatever, and then drive back. That's a big commitment. So you're like, this is perfect timing for you to bring everything online.
It's wonderful. And
Yeah.
really what you were just talking to, if you can, put movement into between 10 and 15 or 10 and 20 minutes at a time, it
Mm,
really is a great break from sitting down and being zoned in every day.
yeah. Yeah. It gives our body a break. So good. Awesome. Well, I can't wait to dive in. We have a ton of questions for you, Pam. Our members in our community have given us some questions, and of course, I have numerous for you because I love this topic. So, how do we stay committed to moving? Like you said, how do we stay committed to moving and making it fun when we're so zoned in to maybe taking care of our kids, our family, or even work? How do we stay committed to making it fun?
Okay, so there's a few ways that you can do it. Is first of all, find what you like to do. If you like to meditate, if you like to do yoga, maybe it's a little bit higher intensity fitness or even a walk. But find first what you enjoy. And then everybody says this and it's hard to put into our life, but schedule it into your day. It doesn't mean every day at 8 o'clock unless you're that type, unless you're that person who can really follow that schedule. Maybe it's getting up in the morning and saying, okay, I'll work till 9, set my alarm, and get up and go take my walk.
Yeah. Yep.
Know that she'll come back to it. Um, Maybe having that yoga mat lying out next to your bed so that
Mm,
when you get up in the morning, you take child's pose just to start to center yourself. and to let the mindfulness happen. Start to visualize what your perfect day will be like.
Hmm. That just sounds great. I envision myself like laying in bed and then just rolling out, and doing yoga. It's the same when I was younger, and you'd have practice early in the morning, so you'd wear your workout gear so you wouldn't have to change. I feel like it's that same mentality. Like if it's there, you're just ready for it. Oh, I
Right.
love that.
Yep. And you don't even need the yoga mat. Maybe you
Right.
just roll out of bed and find that child's pose. Uh,
Hmm.
One of the great things about being stuck at home is you can do yoga in whatever clothes you have.
Mm. True. True.
You don't have to worry about what other people are saying. If you do yoga in your pajamas, nobody
Hey.
cares.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It's more about comfort right now. I know that, yeah, I'm doing my best to get ready every day, but sometimes I have the yoga pants on, right? So, and sometimes I have jeans. We'll see. But yeah, I could totally see that. Like you're committed to the action of movement, and you don't have to make it tough. You don't have to make it hard on yourself, right?
Right. Yep. Just
Yeah.
make it fit in, make it nice and smooth.
Mm, that's so good. So I know that you said earlier, like a recommended amount of time is like 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
What are some poses or some movement options that you would give to somebody who's like, I only have 15 minutes, or maybe I only have 10 minutes, um, that I can insert this into my day?
Okay, so there's a couple of things to think about if you have room to get up and down off the floor, or maybe you don't. Maybe you're in a little smaller space, and guess what? There's my kids have toys all over the place. I don't
Right,
have the room. You can
right.
still bring movement practice in standing. So,
Mm,
one of the best things to do is to stand up and just reach everything up to the sky, up to the ceiling, look up nice and tall.
mm,
Right now, I'm kneeling, but I can push
yeah.
the back later if we need to. And then just reach for one arm, pull it up, bring it over to the side, feel that stretch through the full side body.
Yep.
If you want to take it deeper through the legs, you can cross one leg over on the other. And then reach up and take it to the other side. So
Mm,
right there stretches everything immediately when you stand up.
mm.
So
Should we
that
do that together? I feel
let's
like
do
that's
that together. Let's
yeah.
see if I can.
Or even sit like I'm sitting right now, or
Yeah,
I can kneel down.
yeah. I'll be kneeling, and maybe that will work. So, all right, take a nice big breath. Let the arms reach all the way up to the ceiling. Take a
And if
little
you're
gaze.
watching right now, just do this with us.
Yes. Reach for your right wrist. Pull it up. Take it over to the left side. Then reach for that left wrist. Bring that up and over to the right.
Yeah, I feel that pull for sure.
Doesn't that feel good? And anytime you get up from your desk, reach back up tall. And then bring the hands together, intertwine fingers, and let the palms push up to the ceiling. Release the hands behind the back and do that same thing, pushing the palms to the ground as you open up the
Ooh.
chest.
I heard some cracks.
Very good. And then just release that out. I mean,
Ooh.
even just adding that every time you stand up from your desk or your couch or your chair, do you already feel that open?
Yeah. Yep. As you were doing that, I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And I sat up a little straighter. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right there, if you ever watch your animals and if they're sleeping, what do they do when they get up first?
Yeah, they stretch. Yeah.
They always stretch. As
Hmm.
humans, for some reason, we've forgotten to do that.
Wow. Yeah, I love that connection.
Yeah.
So good. Okay, well, that's a good one. What's another one you would recommend?
So if you need a little energy, you can do what I often call, you can do a full sun salutation if you have room, but even just what I call a half sun salutation. And I'm going to try to bring my computer up a little bit so you get more of a full body.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, let's see if we can do one more. I think here you might be able to get the full. Okay, so here we go. So take a nice big breath, reach those arms back up again. And then you'll fold forward, reaching down to the toes, a little bend in the knees. Take a nice flat back as you look down. Come back and touch your toes, and then reach back up nice and tall. Hands back to the heart.
Mm-hmm.
So right there just brings in a little extra energy as you start to get that forward fold, start to work with the legs and the hamstrings and bring in some energy there.
That's so great. That's like a modified, yeah, that feels a little modified for folks if you don't have the space.
Correct. And I talked about touching your toes. Don't worry if you can't touch your toes. You know, I can. I've been doing this for a number of years, but
Yeah.
don't stop just because you can't. Just hinge
Mm,
forward as far as you can go. Yeah.
yep. That's so great. Love it. Love it. Okay. And then maybe a third one for folks. Our last movement.
A third one for folks there. And if you do have the room, this one really brings in, I'm not so sure I'm going to get it all on here, but it is taking that full sunné, reaching up. And then as you come down, finding a plank. So if I'm not sure you can see me in the
Yep.
plank.
Yep.
Okay, let me go around this way so you can see. So find a plank and then lower it down to the mat.
Hmm.
A small cobra, so a nice small back bend as you gaze up. And then take this to a downward facing dog. So it's an upside down V. The head is in between the biceps, and then pedal the legs out. So
Ooh,
that really gets a nice stretch through the full body.
awesome. Yeah, that always feels good when you pedal. I've taken a couple classes with you, Pam, and like pedaling out always feels really good.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
talked about those cracks in your back earlier. It really does help to reset everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that felt really good. Yeah, even if you have like a minute to do that at your desk or just back away from your computer and just stretch out for a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
that's better than ignoring your body.
Right. Yes. And right now, even just after showing that to you, my whole body, I'm standing up taller. I feel
Mhm.
more open and I have more energy. So that's
Yeah.
really the key, is to bring that energy and get the blood flowing.
Oh, that's so good. Yay. Okay, good. So now folks have, actual movements that they can try and connect with their body. Because right now I'm in my home a lot, and so just getting aligned with your body is so important.
It really is. Yes. And the more you get aligned, and I would say do this, not just once a day, but either every time you get up, find a stretch or two, or set a
Mm-hmm.
timer on your phone, because
Mm-hmm.
it is so easy to get zoned into working on a project
Yeah.
that, do you ever get there where all of a sudden, like an hour and a half later, you realize the foot's falling asleep, you're stiff?
Yes. Yes, I do. I've been
Yeah.
there for sure. Some people watching might have different ways their body tells them, but for me, it's my shoulders. Like I can really tell in my shoulders when they're too high and I'm like stressed. So like doing what we just did together totally loosened it up and like kind of brought it down. So that's awesome.
Very
So
good.
okay, so how do we practice movement when we are in quarantine? That's a question that we've been getting a lot. Like, I have my family, I have my kids, my dog, or you might be by yourself and you're like, I don't really want to. I don't feel like it. Right? So, how do we put movement into our life in quarantine when we're around a lot of people, maybe, or maybe we're by ourselves and we're kind of dipping into that loneliness? How do we incorporate that?
So a couple of ways is, if you find you wake up, or if you can wake up earlier than your family in the morning,
Mm,
even 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, set your alarm. Also great in helping to set a routine.
yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Yep.
Routine.
Yep. So find that you can find at that point, if your family's still sleeping, you probably have the whole house to yourself.
Mhm.
Still doesn't mean a lot of room, but maybe your living room, even your kitchen, you can, if you can find just enough room to spread the arms out a little bit.
Yeah.
Other ways to get it in is, again, I love walking as another form of movement. Advantage of walking, you get out, you get the fresh air. So that's
So
good, not only for physical, but for our mental ability to get outside, not just looking at things inside. And soon it's going to be nice outside, so you could do a little yoga on your front porch.
front
Yeah.
porch yoga. That sounds like a program.
There we go. Or in your backyard, if you're not quite that adventuresome to do it on your front porch, but in your backyard, on your back porch. There's a lot of programs out there now that you can get on your phone. So if you don't want to figure it out by yourself, You can also find an online source for somebody to lead you through it. Yes.
So true. So true. It's like guided meditations, right? I'm
Yes.
not to the point where I can meditate on my own because I'm thinking about way too many things at any given time. So having a guide to pull you through meditation or yoga, so important. So
Yes.
true.
Yes. I love guided meditations myself. I usually fall asleep or I usually do a guided meditation before I go to bed every night. Yeah.
Mm, I love that. Okay, so let's flip into like the mindfulness piece of all of this, right? Kind of what we're talking about here with like connecting your body to your mind, because our mind is so powerful. And I don't know, what conversations you've been having, but people are definitely on a scale of how they're feeling about this pandemic. Either they're checking out or they're, working through it minute by minute, supporting others. So what are some tips that you can give folks on like connecting to that mindfulness part?
Okay. So first, always acknowledge your feelings are okay. So whatever you're feeling at any point in time through this is okay to feel. And then once you feel and you realize it, it is time to really do your best to start to take care of your body.
Mm.
And when we talk about meditation, a lot of people give up because they think that I'm not supposed to think of anything. Okay. But really, meditation is allowing yourself to go deep within. So when you sit down, and it doesn't have to be in meditation posture, it can be sitting in your favorite chair in your living room. It could
Mm.
actually be outside, but taking just a few minutes to just be aware of your breath. And whatever thought comes in, acknowledge it, and then take another breath and pay attention to your breath again.
Mm.
So don't get mad at yourself because all of these thoughts are flying in. That's your body processing them.
Mm. That's
So
such a beautiful way to say that. It's like there's no judgment around it, right?
right. Yep, to say, okay, I just thought of that. Now where's my breath again? And then do your best, fill up your lungs, fill up, let the diaphragm expand and fill up your belly. So think of the belly being as a nice big balloon. So that takes a nice long breath. And there
Mm.
you have a couple of seconds of thinking about something else
Right,
and let that back out.
right. So how can we incorporate this into, again, like just feeling all the feels, right? Like maybe you have your family or your kids or your dog, or you just need a minute. How do you actually allow yourself to do that when you might not be in the mindset that like, oh, I need to stop and breathe right now, right? How, like, what are some tricks we can kind of re-teach ourselves about really being mindful to our body?
One of the tricks that I just thought of, because I remember when my kids were little and we always talked about counting to 10 before we yelled at them.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's not just a count to 10, but it's a count to 10 with deep breaths to
Yeah.
give yourself time to settle in, to let the mind relax, and then take care of what it's going to be.
That is so good. That is so good. Like it's just so simple, but we forget like taking a beat, taking a breath, even before you answer an email, before you, say something that you might not want to say, right? We can incorporate that into our life in any moment.
Yes,
Mm.
definitely. And if you do need to, go lock yourself in the bathroom for 5 minutes.
And there,
You
yeah.
know, there's a place to sit in there so you can sit and you can just, let the brain relax for a little bit.
Yeah, so true. And even on a walk, I know you mentioned this earlier, but walks are so great to just clear your mind. I always get such great ideas when I'm on a walk because I'm like moving my body and my brain is like processing and focusing on what's around me and nature. So those are amazing tips, the counting to 10 and just finding space.
It's wonderful. And when you think about taking a walk, do your best to either have your phone on silent or leave it at home.
Yeah.
So you
Yep.
fully enjoy the nature that's around you. And even if you're in the city and you're in the nature, that's still okay too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Hug a tree.
Yes. Hug a tree. Get some fresh
Nice.
air.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Get some fresh air. I love that. So would you recommend there are better times to move your body than others, like morning versus night? Kind of walk us through that. What's a good time to move our body?
It's very dependent on the person.
Mm,
It is very good when you first get up in the morning to find a way to stretch.
hmm.
Whether that's, like I said, finding child's pose, sitting down on the ground next to your bed, or doing the initial stretches that we talked about,
Yeah.
uh,
Yep.
just to get the body moving and flowing. I like a midday movement practice,
Mm,
15 to 20 minutes, because that really helps you break up your day.
yeah.
It
I
takes,
remember, oh, sorry, didn't
oh,
mean to
go ahead.
interrupt.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I remember when we did yoga at the Nest at like 2 o'clock. That was so nice to do midday yoga because it gave you the break from your computer. You were there on site with us, so we could do it and then go back to work or enjoy the rest of the day. It was just a really nice practice that I hadn't done before.
Okay. Yeah, and it's a great way to break up your day. Did you find more creativity when you went back to work
I
that afternoon?
totally did. Yeah, I felt like I had like a little spike of energy without the coffee, right?
Yes.
Felt really good. Yeah, it totally did.
Yeah, it helps. And then I also like recommend some sort of movement practice in the evening.
Mm,
Doesn't have to be energizing, but more relaxing, stretching, or a guided meditation.
yeah.
And when you do any one of these practices, a great way, especially right now when we are a little bit confined in our houses, is to find something to be grateful for.
Mm,
Every day, there's always something to be grateful for. As I'm thinking, you know what? We still have water, we still have electricity, we have the internet, we're still connected.
yeah.
So even if you are living alone, hopefully we still have that connection with other people through social media.
Yeah. Yeah, it's technology has been an incredible blessing. I know we talked about this before we hopped on, but like we're able to do this. You're able to support people now with their yoga practice online. It's an incredible gift that we have.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Definitely.
So, do you have any resources or places that people can learn more about you or movement or mindfulness that you want to share?
Sure. I have my website is greenfrogyoga.com. That is still links a little bit back to my physical studio, but I have Green Frog Yoga online where you can get anywhere from 5 minute to 45-minute yoga practices you can do at home.
Ooh,
Also, if you would like to join my Facebook group, Yoga Inspired Lifestyle, we'll put a link below this when we put the video out there. I am creating a group, and I have 3 or 4 other yoga and movement teachers who are joining in this venture with me that will be we'll have videos online for you in areas of HIIT yoga, functional flow, kids yoga, and your basic yoga practices. So
and
that's
that's in the Facebook group that you
right.
mentioned.
So Yoga
Okay.
Inspired Lifestyle is there, and this is all under construction, but it will be out very soon. So if you like just Green Frog Yoga, that one's already out there and available, but we're looking to add many more options to it.
So good. And then what about mindfulness practices? Any guided meditations or things that you'd recommend?
So my favorite guided meditation, there is an app called Insight Timer. It is
Hmm.
free or you can pay for it, and there are, I want to say, thousands and thousands of different guided meditations out there with that one. And you can also connect with people around the world. It's really kind of neat. You can
Oh,
go anytime and they will tell you how many people are using their app around the world.
that's incredible. So
Yes.
cool. See, and that's another level of us being all interconnected. That's really cool. Love it. Okay, awesome. Well, we will make sure to drop those links in the comments to Pam's group because I definitely need a lot of what she was talking about. Even just working from home and finding new practices to instill into my life. I love that. So good. So thank you, Pam, for being here. This has been so good. I appreciate it. So tomorrow is our final day of the virtual summit. You guys, we've been doing this for 6 days. This is awesome. We've been supporting around business and relationships. movement here with Pam. So if you haven't watched any of the videos or maybe you missed one, you can head back and watch the replays. We've also been getting a lot of questions like, how can we support you guys? This content has been awesome. I've been getting so much value from it. How can we support you? And so we've made it possible to give back. We have a link in the virtual summit page that you can actually give any amount that you think would be fitting for you if you've gotten value from this, if you've shared it with anybody else. So we just want to really share the love and share the nest with everybody. So if you know somebody who like maybe mindfulness or movement isn't their jam, send them this link, tag them in this video, right? It's really about spreading support and awareness. So thank you again, Pam, for being here and sharing your knowledge with us. It's been incredible.
Thank you so much, Jess, and thank you for the nest. I really love being a part of the nest too.
Yeah, Pam is an awesome member. She's there constantly. I see her in the back working. Yeah, thank you so much, Pam.
Thank you.
Well, have a great day, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.